Good morning, everybody. I'm Jenny from Jen's Emporium. This morning, I'm not entirely sure what our reading's about. So, Spirit has asked me to start with my Sacred Spirit deck. And once again, we'll just see how it goes for me. We have an absolutely stunning morning here this morning. It's beautiful. Now that's funny because I was just about to say that Spirit had talked about changing the energy in your home, just kind of around yourself. Sometimes just things get a bit stagnant, a bit stale, and I want to go and get myself a shamanic drum for healing and also for cleansing around the house. I was thinking about that this morning. Yeah, and then the card that came out, awakened spirit, desire to change. Just the way this card's being depicted, to me this is just seeing another reality, seeing another way of being, seeing into there's little eyes, if you can see these eyes all through here, a different way of seeing, a different way of being, living consciously. Oh, good morning, Cole. Have you come to help me do the reading this morning? Awakened spirit, desire to change. And that's also about being open-minded as well. Because once again, Spirit mentioned the Galactic Federation of Light and about how there's babies that are born that are reincarnated from the Federation. Being open-minded, seeing new things, but I am going to read their card. Awakened Spirit. Awakened Spirit is much like Alice in Wonderland. Once you have travelled down the rabbit hole, you will never go back to what you knew before. You become forever changed by your new experience. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's right. Sorry, I had to check my volume. I thought it was probably down low, but no, it's fine. You become forever changed by your new experience. New information and experiences will change you at your every core. You become enlightened with sacred connection, resulting in physical, spiritual, and emotional change. You may be feeling lost and confused about your life, relationships, family, or social connections, including your employment. This is a time when making meaningful experiences is a priority, as you can no longer fathom wasting time on greedy, materialistic, or ego-based principles. The question of why comes to the forefront of almost every experience as you search for meaning and validity for your soul's experience here on earth. Seen through the industrial machine of society, you become more aware of people's unhappiness and lack of passion, ethics, and integrity. At this moment, understanding who you are, the real you, the one beyond what you have been conditioned to believe by society, family, school, or institutions, because a dominant becomes a dominant feature in your life. Right now, your spirit seeks freedom. Absolutely. Confined by restrictive interactions and outdated ideals, it's important to understand the connection between your physical body and spiritual self. This deep connection is the soul's expanding awareness into seeing a broader and bigger picture in life. Health challenges can occur now as you go through this phase of spiritual improvement. Growing impatience with materialistic people, social media, and news programs continually highlight the world's imbalance of peace and harmony. Humanitarian efforts are supported now. Donating time, effort, and energy into community programs or groups and implementing healthy and greener alternatives into your life will bring you new opportunities, creating a supportive, healthier lifestyle. Shadow aspect, authorization, communication, inconsiderate, and social disconnection. White selenite is the crystal because it's good for cleansing. Guardian angel is pineal, understanding difficult situations and life lessons. And the affirmation is I am free to follow the call of my heart with purpose, with love, and with clarity. Absolutely beautiful. Awaken spirit. Yes, this is exactly what we need. We need to reach out to each other, help each other. People matter, and money doesn't. Material possessions don't matter. People do. And when in service, oh lovely, when in service to others, to helping others, it lifts you, it makes you feel better. And when you feel better, once again, that energy ripples out and it affects everybody around you. Forgiveness, absolutely. Reducing burden. Forgiveness for yourself, forgiveness for others. Self-forgiveness is a huge thing. Sometimes it's easier to forgive other people that have wronged you than what it is to forgive yourself. But you need to. You need to, because self-forgiveness is also on the path of self-love and self-care. Absolutely. And the rose here makes me think of the lotus flower. Is it 33? Is it 33 petals of the lotus of love? Because this forgiveness, reducing burdens, this is the beginning act of love. One of the acts of love is to have forgiveness. Forgiveness for yourself and forgiveness for others. But see what's happening around you. Like I say, in my meditation, Spirit said about the Galactic Federation of Light and how babies are being born that are reincarnated beings from the Federation. Now, see, this is all quite new to me, but I don't know. I don't see why it wouldn't happen. I don't see why that's not possible. We're all energy. We all came from one source. All beings, all animals, all everything. So I don't see why that can't be. They're a higher intelligence and they'll come here to help us, to support us, to help create this desire to change, because I certainly want things to change. And this is why I'm doing this, putting myself completely out of my comfort zone to try and bring messages that will help somebody, that people will hear and they understand that they need to start connecting with Mother Earth. We need to get back to our roots. We need to get back to the old ways, the ancestors. And I don't mean we need to go back to living in caves. What I mean is, with the technology that we have and the technology that we can create, we need to combine that with the old ways, with the ways of listening to Mother Earth and working with her and working with harmony. and risk and reward. And I'm not saying go out and give up your jobs, but truly look inside. Don't listen to other people. Like I'm talking about the Galactic Federation of Light, and I know quite a few people that would think that was silly, and I shouldn't, that it's not real, and I shouldn't be talking about that. But this is what Spirit's giving me. This is what Spirit's asking me to talk about. And and I've said this before. I trust my guides. I trust my spirit, and I will do this. This is what they've asked. So take the risk, not foolish risk, not anything that will endanger your life or hurt anybody else, but take time to sit in silence, to sit in quiet, and practice meditation. Honestly, I can't get enough of how important meditation is. And it takes a little bit of work, a little bit of practice. Turn off the television and do some research. Just turn off the television, period. I haven't had a television in my home for at least 14, 15 years, and I don't miss it at all. Go and sit out under the trees at night time and feel the beautiful energy that comes from the trees. Look a little bit deeper into life, a little bit deeper than just the surface. This guy's looking into new dimensions, into new possibilities that are not of this earth. Feel the frequency of the energy. See with your third eye. Shut your eyes, your physical eyes, and just see with your third eye. You might be surprised what comes out. I'm just going to pull another Sacred Spirit card. A desire to change and risk and reward. Change doesn't come by itself. You have to actually create that change. You have to set the intention. You have to do something. You have to do something about it. You can't just say, oh, I wish things would change and sit there and wait for it to happen, because it's not going to happen. You have to create the change. You need to be the change. Meditation. Meditation. Improvements require persistence. Absolutely. Meditation. It doesn't always come easy. It's about just finding, it's the breathing, first of all, and I think I've talked about this before, but when I practice my meditation, I take a big deep breath in right into my tummy, and I hold it for a little short few seconds, and then gently let it out. And I do that 3 times. Big deep breath in right into your tummy, and then let it out after you've held it for a little while. And then just sometimes I count down as well once I've done, once I've done my 3 big deep breaths in, and I can feel myself relaxing. And then I take my attention down to my feet, and I go and I imagine big root system growing out through the bottom of my feet and right down through into the center of the earth to there's a big crystal, whatever crystal that you feel, whatever comes to you as far as the crystal goes. And then I imagine wrapping the root system around that crystal and then bringing the energy back up through the root system, through my feet and into my body. And that's a good way to keep you grounded. And then I imagine that a light from source comes down through my crown and connects me that way, so I'm grounded and I'm connected with spirit. And I ask questions, or sometimes I just sit in the silence and just concentrate on my breathing. And just sitting in that silence, it just helps calm the mind, calm the body, and it feels quite like I feel renewed, regenerated. And if you think about, suddenly you'll be sitting there nice and calmly and quietly, and then suddenly, oh gosh, I forgot to do this, or oh, later on I have to ring somebody, whatever the case may be. Just let that thought come in and gently let it go out and just concentrate on your breathing. And you'll be surprised what happens. And whatever images you see, or images or name, whatever you see or hear, just believe it. Do some research into it. One time I saw Johnny Appleseed sleeping under his tree, and I thought, well, that's a bit funny. I actually just thought Johnny Appleseed was a Walt Disney story. Turns out Johnny Appleseed's actually a true person, and it was really interesting researching him. And he was a little bit of a prophet for, or a spokesperson. He used to talk about the Swedenborg, the Church of Swedenborg. That was pretty interesting. So when you get things, when you see things, do a little bit of research into it and see what comes of it. But honestly, meditation, and it really is a good way to awaken to your spirit, to create change. Secret temptation, being led astray. Oh, he's a very dark looking fellow, isn't he? Secret temptation, being led astray, with nut 31, which is 4, which is the foundation. I think kind of what our foundation, this foundation of our society is built on, is just a little bit, we've been led astray. I think some of the things that we hear in the news, and don't believe it's necessarily as true as they say it is. But this is where you need go into meditation, ask questions, and just discern what you feel to be the truth. What is your truth? Your truth doesn't have to be the same as anybody else's. But I'm just going to read that one as well. Secret temptation, being led astray. Temptations can be everywhere, dependent upon your vices, and unfortunately there will always be temptation to the human psyche. We can learn from these vices as they teach us about our emotional triggers prior to our actions. Self-mastery is key. Risk-taking should be avoided now with careful consideration of any planning of events, career changes, or major decisions. A lack of willpower may influence your impulse. Be strict with your budgets as financial blowouts are significant now. That's absolutely right. Isn't that funny? Right now, the truth is yet to be revealed. So I kind of find it interesting how these cards. Be cautious in lending any goods you wish to have returned, as deception is around every corner. Be mindful of any agreements or contracts at this time and seek professional advice where appropriate. If you are in a relationship, you may feel that it is at risk of a third-party influence. Addictions such as gambling, drugs, sex, alcoholism, and even food are indicated through this card. Being tempted by devilish behavior is leading you down a bad path. This health card encourages you to regain control of your life, building willpower and determination using a step by step approach with support and encouragement. Ultimately, the temptation to be bad or let loose is having a negative effect on yourself and the people around you. If you are experiencing challenges with your personal habits at the moment, now is the time to develop structured and systematic coping strategies that you can lean on when you are tempted to be led astray. However, you are a conscious creator, so be accountable for your past and current choices. And so that be accountable for your past is also part of the forgiveness, forgiving yourself for what you've done in the past. Yeah, forgive yourself for what you've done in the past. All is not lost, but you must act if you wish to improve your circumstances. Continuing to ignore the problem will make this situation worse. Professional assistance is required now. Seek a suitable health practitioner associated with specific challenges. Shadow aspect, lack of impulse control, addiction, and deception. Sacred crystal that goes with this card is the fire agate. Angel assistance is Archangel Zachariel. Major change, release, destructive tendency, self-sabotage. Affirmation: I continue to make positive choices. I feel my emotional burden. I free my emotional burden. Nice. Because I don't have TV, I don't listen to the news and things like that, but I know there's still some pretty bad stuff happening all around the world. There's always been bad stuff happening in the world. But I just feel with these birds, they make me think of like the eagles, which is a symbol of like power. And I just feel that the powers that be, and their physical powers that be, haven't necessarily been as honest with us as we believe, as we hoped they were. But this meditation, awakening spirit in meditation, like I said, he's looking out into other dimensions, other realities, other truths. Maybe this risk and reward, maybe this risk is just meditating. It's not that meditation is a risk, but it is something out of your comfort zone. It is something new. So maybe to you it does feel like a little bit of a risk. Maybe it just feels a little bit silly, but it really is important. For peace of mind, for being grounded, for being connected. It really is important. This card also makes me think Big Brother's watching. Big Brother's watching. Yep, cutting away the bullshit. The Ten of Swords generally represents an end of a cycle, the ending of a cycle, beginnings and endings, and what's happening in the world. It does need to end. Things need to change. We can't sustain the way we live. We're just ripping Mother Earth apart, sucking all the oil out, cutting down all the trees. Just trees are the lungs of our planet, and we cut down all the rainforests and just, I don't know, clear all the trees like in New Zealand here. And I'm not anti dairy farming or anything like that, but they cut down on the Canterbury Plains, they cut down all the trees, all the windbreaks, all the shelter belts to make way for the irrigators and things like that. Well, Canterbury Plains is a very windy place, can be a very windy place. And those shelter belts and tree lines and that, they were all to help. They were built to protect, they were planted to protect the land. You see sometimes when they've just ploughed a paddock or just planted, done the sowing, and the nor'west comes up and just takes all that top layer of soil off. There's a reason. There's a reason for trees, reason for shelter. So the way we do things needs to change. And I find it quite fascinating that in Atlantis, they ran their city and their homes, their businesses, their transport, everything of crystals. Like, we have the knowledge, we have the technology to set up a city, our homes, our transport, everything to run off crystals, and it's a renewable source. How do you charge a crystal? With the sun and the moon. And it takes from nobody. It takes from nothing. It doesn't take from the planet Earth. It is just a beautiful, pure energy. We could do that. There's no reason we can't, except for the steel industry and the oil industry and the timber industry. They don't want us to have a one-off, get your crystal and that's it. I don't ever have to go back for anything because I have all the power. I have everything I need to run my home, run what I need off a crystal. There's no reason we can't do that, and this is what we need to get back to. We need to get back to our technology assisting us to work in harmony with Mother Earth. If that energy, those crystals that we run our house off, is so pure, there's no harm to us because it is a natural energy. It is a natural frequency. It would be uplifting and healing. And the Prince of Cups, he's the Knight of Cups. He's like a messenger, a messenger to do with emotions. But I feel because this is working on yourself, this is your desire to create change, this is ending the bullshit and creating something new, creating abundance, but in a different way, in a non-material way. Look at all the coloured fields behind him. The clean, lovely wee stream running near the flowers. All the abundance that Mother Earth has to offer us. And it's us recognising that abundance. It is abundance. The gifts of nature. And he's holding his cup, and his cup's pretty full. And there's light glowing all around it. He's quite at ease. The Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is normally depicted by somebody with the swords around them, kind of like imprisoned them in their own thoughts. But this card here, they've taken their thoughts, they're taking action. They're moving together as a united front. Oh, foot soldiers. Foot soldiers. And this guy, he's standing up here on his own, protecting his life, his family. And ending this cycle of tyranny. Standing in his own independence and his own truth. I just love the way these cards work together. And if we stand for what we believe in, if we follow our own truth, follow our own light, there will be casualties, there will be chaos, but the bullshit ends, the cycle ends. In the tower. Now this tower in other tarot is depicted by lightning striking the tower and breaking bits off it, and people come jumping out the windows. In this tower, this light, this energy, this force is coming from within. This is you going within. This is you with the desire to change, taking the risk, standing in your truth, standing in your light, going into meditation, having forgiveness for yourself, forgiveness for things that have happened in your past, and finding the strength, finding your light, and creating this. This is you busting out of convention, busting out of this, of the control, of the governance, of the oppression. This is you standing in your power. This is powerful. This card to me feels so powerful. This is you, people. This is you standing in your light. Wow. Is there any more cards, please? Ah, beautiful. The Fool and the Magician come out together. The Fool's all about taking that step into the unknown. And the Magician is about you have all the tools that you need to create what it is that you want. Create your best life. And both of these cards, neither of them have huge amounts of anything. They have the basics. They have everything they need. They don't need to have, and I'm not taking away from people that have worked hard and brought themselves lovely homes and nice cars. I'm not taking away from that at all. But to get back to the basics, to get back to the inner, to this light. Too many things around causes distractions, dissatisfaction. But to truly be free is to understand that money holds no power. Money has no love, no essence, no real importance. Love does. Self-love, love for the planet, love for each other. This is the world that we can create. Money's needed, of course, because that's how our society is. But money should not be the end all and be all of everything, because it is not. Look inside, find your truth, and just trust. Trust that you can create the world that you want to live in, the world that you want to have. You have it inside of you. You have the power. Look at the power that's in you. Let that power come out. Let this light shine. Let this light and energy and power and love that you have inside of you bust out the walls of convention and oppression and force and control. Bust it out. Be brave. Say no. Oh, sorry. Be brave. Say no. Step out. Step into the world that you want to have. Step into the world that you deserve to have and create it. Believe that you can create it, because you are powerful. You are powerful. I just want you to think about when last year, when this COVID business started, and the world, I understand the world wasn't all locked down at the same time, but there was mankind was put on pause quite nicely, to be honest. And then you look at the changes that happened. They banned some of the stuff from Facebook, said it was false information and that, but the atmosphere got clearer. The rivers and the sea and the waterways ran clearer. Mother Earth started healing. Things started to improve. And wildlife would come into the cities. Was it dolphins were swimming in the Venice channels? There was so much improvement, so much healing done in the planet, by the planet, because and just think how much healing took place in that short time. That kind of healing needed a lot of energy, a lot of power. And do you know what that power and energy is? It's love. And that love is what healed it. And that love is what will heal us. We just need to go inside and find that love for ourselves and for everybody else, for our planet, for our animals, for everybody and everything. Because we are all connected. We need to get out of the cycle of go to work and work 9, 10, 12 hours a day, come home, pay the bills, go back to work the next day. I'm sorry, but that to me, that's not living. And sure, you need money to travel and you need money for various things. I'm not doubting that. But your life should not be working for the man. It should not be under rule, under oppression. There needs to be a new way. There needs to be change. All right, everybody, that to me just was quite a powerful reading today. Honestly, people need to come together. They need to understand what's truly, truly important, and it is not money, it is not possessions, it is love. It is looking out for one another, helping each other. Stop all the hideous things that happens in this world, all the child trafficking and starvation and women getting beaten and by their partners, by their husbands, by just the general public. This discrimination against each other needs to stop. Look how many species of animals have been extinct or died out. That's not what we're here for. We're not here to be destructive. We're here to rejoice in love and growth and abundance. Alright, everybody, I hope you kind of take on some of what I'm saying, because honestly, it's important. I feel it's important. Alright, everybody, have a great day, and I'll see you again tomorrow.